Welcome everyone to Bet What Happens Live. We are at the 2-minute warning of the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City leads 13-10. Buffalo Bills have the ball right now, and that's going to lead us right into our first bet off the bat. I noticed we have Latavius Murray for around 20-1 for an anytime touchdown, and FanDuel is hanging 45-1 on Latavius Murray anytime touchdown. So Grant, we got to hit that right away, right?
Yeah, let's do a full quarter unit. That's just
I like
ridiculous bet.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
sitting at like plus 1,000 everywhere else and 45-1, just hanging that out there. Whoo!
yeah, exactly. 10-1 everywhere else, and FanDuel has 45-1. So Latavius Murray quarter unit, 45-1. If this hits, we'll be winning more than 10 units. Not likely to hit, right? We only have it about 5% likely, but that's better than around 2% likely, which are close to the implied odds, like 2.5% or something like that, 2.3%. So, we got pretty much double the odds on Latavius Murray getting an anytime touchdown. So make sure to grab that 45-1 at FanDuel. Cut it off there. Grant Neefer of Scores and Odds. I'm Nick Giffen, predictive analytics guy here at Action Network. So Grant, what are your thoughts on the game so far? And where are you looking at for some bets aside from the Latavius Murray touchdown?
I mean, it's going about how I thought it would. I mean, I have the Bills in this one. I was leaning towards the under. Didn't make either of those bets. Just those are the ones that I had to lean towards.
Yeah.
But it's a close game. It's a good game. It's exactly what we expected out of Chiefs Bills. First bet I want to look at, not as important at the moment. There is a chance that KC gets the ball back this half. Mahomes over 16.5 rushing yards, minus 115 pretty much everywhere. He's currently sitting at 0. Just a lean on this, so I'll wait and see what the sheet says, but could potentially be some value on there.
The model's favoring the under by a good chunk. Now, I liked
17.5 over at FanDuel.
Yeah, I liked the over initially pre-game, but at this point, things seem to have reversed, and the model is favoring the under here. But I'm always wary of quarterback rushing. It's probably my least personal strong point in terms of betting if I were to pick something.
We'll stay away from that. What about CEH? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 33.5 rushing yards. He currently has 1 carry for 28. Who knows if we'll even get one the rest of the game. I don't know what I would do over or under, but just want to know what the model says, because the model says there's not likely to get another carry the rest of the game. This is a solid bet.
Yeah, no, the model says right now it's 55% to the over, but of course Buffalo has the ball right now. I will say they did start with the ball. So that, probably means 55% is about accurate.
All right. Well, let's keep on looking.
Yeah.
James Cook, 67.5 rushing yards. Bills getting close to scoring here. Likely will at least tie it up. He's currently sitting at 41 at the moment. 67.5 looks a tad bit too low to me.
We're technically showing 51% to the under, but of course things are in progress, moving pieces here. So probably just one we'll want to revisit at halftime, I think.
Okay, well, we'll stay away from that. Probably want to wait until after this drive for this one, but I'm leaning towards the Josh Allen under on passing yards. Currently sitting at 106. 234 is the current line. Again, I'll wait until after this drive, but number seems a tad bit too high.
Yeah, so currently at 106. Now we have 245 projected, but like I said, the Chiefs will start with the ball in the snap. So I think the 235 is about fair. Maybe after this drive, I think you're right. We'd probably want to lean towards the under there. We'll see what the model says.
Yeah, no, I was going to stay off it regardless of this driving. If it's a touchdown and they don't adjust too much, then it's going to be a good bet, I think. But it's looking like just from the line movement, they're probably not getting. Oh, never mind. It was just a 15-yard run by Josh Allen. It's great for my over on rushing yards, so I'm not unhappy about that. Might have actually just gotten it there. Let's see. Looking at other ones, Pacheco receiving yards currently sitting at 8.5. He has 0 at the moment. They will dump the ball off to him. If Bills end up scoring, I could see potentially hitting the over on that. Just more likely the Chiefs are playing catch up later in the game. They will dump the ball off to him. What does the model say about that?
Yeah, real quick, let me update the money line here because the Bills are driving and things are changing. So just going to update that, and we have 44 seconds left in the half. Flipping over to Pacheco here, I am showing 58.5% to the over. So we got to hit that over 8.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, it's a minus 106 over at FanDuel, so that's perfect.
Yeah, Isaiah Pacheco over 8.5 receiving yards, minus 106 at FanDuel. Definitely a play there. Like that one a lot. We're hitting it for our standard 1 unit there. So Isaiah Pacheco over 8.5 is the second bet here on Bet What Happens Live. There's a non-zero chance we cash this Latavius Murray 45-1 for halftime even. I don't think it's likely, but it's non-zero chance for sure if they get a little creative here.
Yeah, that would be a fun one. Run with Josh Allen, and he now has his over on rushing yards. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Line's currently sitting at 78.5 for his rushing yards. After that run, he's at 49. Any lean on the model with that one?
49 and 78.5. I typed in 18.5, 78.5. We're showing a lot of value to the under, but I don't like the under simply because he's showing he's willing to run more than our pregame projections. So
I honestly don't hate the under. It's been interesting circumstances. He has been running more. 2-minute drill kind of switch things up.
It could be inflating the line, like you said, that he's been running so much more. But I mean, we're showing a pretty good chunk of value to the under. We're in the 70%.
I mean,
range.
The pregame line was sitting at what was it, 43.5.
Yeah.
So projecting 30 for the second half. I think they are inflating it. Now it's at 79.5. I'm rolling with the model, I guess. Yeah, under 79.5 over at FanDuel. Real solid line there, in my opinion, even though I had his pregame over. Now projecting over 30 rushing yards in the second half. Not something I fully expect.
Yeah, I agree. So that's our third one here is Josh Allen under 79.5 rushing yards as our third bet here on Bet What Happens Live. Now, real quick, 35 seconds left. The Bills are at 3rd and 5 right now. So each team with 2 timeouts remaining. So just a little update there on where things stand as we have 3rd and 5 here for the Bills.
Yeah, this will be an exciting one. I think we're going to hold off on bets here for a few seconds because this largely determines that, and we don't want to be on a delay when it comes to making bets because something may pop and then we could be behind.
Especially on like a high leverage situation here, close to the goal line, late in the half. Looks like they may have gotten the first down. The question is, did he catch it? It looks like Shakir, I believe he's number 10 for the Buffalo Bills. So
yeah, looks like he caught it.
Great catch. Yeah. Excellent catch there. Was hoping okay. So they use their timeout here, which will put them at 1 timeout remaining for Buffalo. So, or sorry, 1 timeout for Kansas City. Kansas City took the timeout here. And 30 or so seconds left in the half, 19 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, and, lines are mostly off the board everywhere. There's a chance that they did that to have them review it. But we can look into things here while we're waiting. Rashee Rice, he's currently sitting at 33 receiving yards. Over under for the game is 70.5. I think my lean would be towards the under in that spot. What does the model have to say?
I was totally not paying attention to what you just said there.
Rashee Rice, 33 receiving yards currently, over under sitting at 70.5.
Yeah, 70.5 for Rashee Rice. Let me pop that in here. We're showing 54% to the under. Now, Kansas City will get the ball here potentially if it ends before the half and maybe they get decent field position, and they'll start with the ball in the second half. So I don't love that.
Yeah, no, my lean was just towards the under. I didn't have a strong take on it. Sure. So that's one that we can kind of stay away from. Josh Allen, rushing touchdown. Only 2 yards rushing, so that's good.
2 touchdowns for Josh Allen, but that definitely changes things. We have just trying to see, waiting for the graphics to update on the show. So 26 seconds here. So even CBS is having a time with the game clock. So 26 seconds left, 1 timeout for the Chiefs. And now the Bills are ahead by 3, likely to be 4 once we see the point after. So let me just update the money line here because things are flipping around. So at this point, the Bills are now 64% to win based off of the live money line. Kansas City, 36% to win.
Yeah, I want to revisit two of the other bets that we were looking at. Josh Allen, 215.5. He's currently at 111 passing yards at the moment, 216.5 rather. Is there any value showing towards the under? I mean, it sounds like from what the model said earlier, if we take it over to the second half,
if we tick it over to the second half, we're at 222. They don't start with the ball. So we'd probably be almost exactly in line with 215.5.
Yeah, my lean would still be the under, but not enough for me to take it. And then James Cook, still sitting at 41 rushing yards. Line is still at 68.5. I think it was at 71.5. Now more positive game script. Take it over the second half, even without starting to the ball. I think I might end up going with that over.
We're at 51.7% to the over. But of course, they won't start with the ball. So again, right in line with the market there.
I kind of want to. I'm going to stay away from that one. I
understand
to roll with the over on that one, but I am going to stay.
I will say his anytime touchdown is plus 420. We're showing plus 375.
Oh, let's hit that half unit on that.
Yeah,
so 20 is the best odds and drastically better than anywhere else.
Yeah, so plus 420 at FanDuel. We're gonna do James Cook anytime touchdown for half a unit, plus 420 at FanDuel.
Yeah, interesting one right now. Stephon Diggs, 45.5 rush or receiving yards is his line. He's currently at 18. I don't see I'm looking at a lot of Bills unders for receiving. I don't see them passing a ton. 45.5 seems way too high.
We're right at 50-50, but if you consider they aren't starting the ball, it would be like a lean to the under, I would guess.
Yeah, only minus 110 juice on both DK and ESPN. I'm going to hit that under. I'm hitting that.
All right, we're going with it. Stephon Diggs under 45.5 receiving yards. You can get that minus 110 juice. So standard play there. For me, like I'm in on it too, but it's like I said, it's only like beating the minus 110 by a couple percentage points. But hey, we'll take it.
I mean, yeah, according to the model, according to my brain, it's beating it by
exactly. I agree with you. And it kind of correlates to that James Cook over. So it's another play on James Cook over in a way, but instead we're taking the one that's showing slightly more value.
Yeah. What do you have for the Mahomes passing yards? Currently sitting at 114, lines all the way up to 272.5. Also 262.5 over on Rivers.
I'd have to retick it back over to the first half here. So just give me a few seconds. Because they do have the ball. I have 263 right now. Plus lean a little over on that because they'll have the ball.
Yeah, and that's probably a stay away. We'll stay away from that one. Looking through
any Kansas City overs, right? Because they're getting the ball back here and they'll start with the ball in the second half. So if we find a Kansas.
Yeah, there's really nothing I'm love. I mean, we could look at Kelsey, currently sitting at 66 receiving yards. His line's at 103.5.
Trailing. Yeah, we're not showing overvalue there at all. We're showing 54% to the under.
I'm not surprised. Still,
do we have anything on Noah Gray?
Noah Gray is 17.5 over at FanDuel.
He has 16 receiving yards, right? We gotta take the over.
Hit it.
Yeah, we're taking the over. Noah Gray over 17.5 receiving yards at FanDuel. So we're taking that right now. That's definitely a play. It just went off the board, but when it pops back up, you got to take over 17.5 from Noah Gray. There it is. It's up minus 114 at FanDuel. Definitely a bet there.
Oh, go Pacheco. Well, that's not great for our over. Just 5-yard receiving loss for Pacheco.
Yeah, that's not ideal. We now all of a sudden are in the hole.
There's a flag back up to 9.5. We're still good.
There's a flag on the play. Even then, I put in the minus 5 yards. Even then, we're only at 54% to the under, and they have the ball, and they'll have the ball in the second half. So it's not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's the flag's bringing it off the board. It's back on the board at 9.5.
Good. So we're okay on that Pacheco. But no, I do love the Noah Gray. It's over 17.5. So that is another bet here. Real quick, just trying to look.
You haven't hit it yet.
Yeah, Justin Watson over 8.5. Let me check that one. He has 0 right now. We're showing literally 50.0 over, 50.0 under. So we're not beating minus 115 juice on that for Justin Watson.
Yeah, what about Dawson Knox, currently sitting at 0.5 plus 114 odds on the over?
We are at 50-50 on Dawson Knox. So we're not beating the juice there either. Plus, they don't have the ball. Plus, they won't start with the ball.
It's at plus money.
To the over?
Yep.
Yeah,
Plus
I mean,
12.
I would say it's around 55% to the under, given they don't have the ball here and won't start with it, right? So,
yeah, we'll stay away from that. Just looking through, yeah, just not a ton to love. What about James Cook receiving yards? Currently sitting at 19.5 is the line. He's at 14. They don't pass the ball a ton to him when they're trailing.
yeah,
Seems
let me just, we are at halftime, so let me just update things here. And that way we'll get things back to being official. So I have the money line updated. Buffalo ahead by 4 points by a score of 17-13. Right now, money line has Buffalo winning 62.5% of the time. They should pass around 2% less than pregame expectation. Kansas City should pass around 2% more than pregame expectation. It seems about right? It's a close game. Kansas City's going to have the ball here. So that all makes sense. So let's go ahead and revisit what you were just talking about there.
I can't remember what I was just talking about.
I think it was
plus 118 on the over.
I think you're talking about James Cook receiving, maybe.
Oh, James Cook receiving, yeah, sitting at 19.5, 20.5 over at Bet Rivers. He's currently sitting at, was it 14 or 15? I can't remember. It's 14. So yeah, honestly, they don't pass to him a ton if they're leading, and I know that it's a close game. So I'm just wondering where the models with that.
Yeah, at 19.5 at FanDuel, it's 59% to the over. So yeah,
I kind of trust the model. It's at minus 110 juice over ESPN and DK.
Minus 110 at ESPN and DraftKings, 19.5. James Cook over 19.5 receiving yards. So if you have DraftKings, you have the ESPN bet, grab over 19 and
MGM. And now it's down to 18.5 everywhere. Beautiful.
Yeah. So
have your juice.
There you go. If it's 18.5, even better. That would be 60%, a little over 60% to the over on James Cook. Now, we'd mentally adjust that down a little bit simply because they aren't starting with the ball here, but definitely like that. So just a reminder, we are at halftime. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure to give us the thumbs up, especially if you tailed us on the first game, because we were up 4.3 units. We got hooked on Montgomery. We got hooked on Godwin, and we got vultured on Montgomery there with Craig Reynolds getting the rushing touchdown there. So we almost had
won 4.5 units with a 6-unit swing.
Yeah, exactly. So if you enjoy the show, if you like live betting here with us, make sure to give us a thumbs up on YouTube. We'd appreciate that very much. So Grant, we are at halftime. What are we going to look at for some bets?
Let's look at interceptions first. I know you love your interception bets.
I do.
Odds up.
I do. What do you got?
Plus 190 for Josh Allen, plus 200 over Bet Rivers on the yes interception.
We have plus 270 for Josh Allen on the yes.
Very marginal value on the under at Caesars, but probably not worth taking it.
Yeah,
that much juice. Mahomes. 175, 170 now at Bet Rivers, 150 other places.
What do you have on the no?
195 looks like the best odds on the under over at DK.
We have minus 225, but they are starting with the ball, so I probably mentally adjust that to like minus 200.
Yeah, so probably very, very marginal value on the under.
Yeah, not worth taking on the interceptions for either quarterback there. Real quick, just looking at passing yards. So now that we do have that one, while I have it open in front of me, we have Mahomes projected at 252, and of course, probably more than that, maybe closer to 260, given they start with the ball. Josh Allen projected at 222, probably a little less than that, given that they aren't starting with the ball. The Buffalo Bills are not starting with the ball.
Yeah, so 214 and 261, so right in line with the market at this.
On both of them. Yep.
Yep. Yep. All right. Should we look at some TDs?
Yeah, we should definitely look at the touchdown market. We already took, by the way, plus 420 on James Cook. If you haven't taken that, it's now down to plus 380 at FanDuel. We're right in line with that pretty much there. And then we took earlier, right when the show kicked off, Latavius Murray 45-1. He's still at 45-1 at FanDuel. We're showing 20-1 there. I think it's, it's tough to say because any 1 percentage point change will make that very close. But like I said, if you got 45-1 available, I still think it's a good sprinkle on Latavius Murray.
Yep. Looking at other ones, trying to find Pacheco's currently sitting at 260. Guessing there's no value on that one.
No, we have plus 300 there on Pacheco.
Kincaid plus 650. There could be some value.
We're at 640 now. They don't start with the ball, so I think that's probably right in line with the odds out there. Yeah, not showing a whole lot on these Chiefs wide receivers either, and it's always a crapshoot. It feels like with those guys as well.
Yeah, no, I have not done well outside of Kelsey betting anything. Kelsey
yeah, exactly.
over 1.5 touchdowns at plus 245.
We got 3-1. So
yep, about right.
Yeah, a little under 3-1, plus 290, but yeah. So I think we're right in line with the TD market. Not really showing a whole lot of value. Let's look at the quarterbacks. Definitely not showing value on Mahomes. Josh Allen for a 3rd touchdown. What do we have? No, we definitely don't have value on that either.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is plus 190 over at.
No. Yeah, we definitely don't want to do that. That's just a little too short there.
That's way too short.
Yeah.
Loving seeing him run the ball though. I mean, don't want him to run the second half because we have his under, but
yeah, exactly.
I've already got my over.
So the touchdown market kind of depleted there. Khalil Shakir, we're at plus 845. I see a plus 850 out there. But again, the Bills do not start with the ball.
Yeah, 850 is the best line by a decent amount. So
what do you have on Andy Isabella as the longest out there?
I had it and then I lost it.
I see 45 at FanDuel.
And 45 is by far the best line.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say he also gets some kick returns, so we'd have to mentally factor that in because I don't have that in my anytime touchdown model. But we have him 70-1, so it's not enough there to with the kick returns to bump him up.
Yeah, strangely enough, I'm not really seeing anything. I mean, we've got a decent amount of bets already, but I'm just not seeing anything. Mahomes rushing yards sitting at 11.5, probably about right.
Yeah, that's about right.
Maybe a tad bit to the over would be my lean.
We're at 10.8 median, 12.3 average.
Yeah, so probably not really any value there. Even at 12.5, the under probably doesn't have enough value considering they're starting with the ball.
Right.
Yeah, just not seeing anything else.
It's tough. I agree with you. I expected that. I expected that because this game would be the one that gets juiced down for sure.
Yeah, MVS sitting at 0.5 is his number, but heavy juice on the under, plus odds on the over, plus 114. I'm just wondering what the model says about that.
Plus 114 on the over, heavy juice in the under. We're at 55.5% to the under.
Yeah, so even with there's probably marginal value on the over considering they're starting with the ball.
Yeah,
not going to be one I'm going to bet.
No, definitely not one I want to bet. That's certainly a little scary. Do we have Hardman aligned for him? Ooh, I do love some Sherfield today.
Yeah, sitting at 0.5, plus 125 on the over, best odds plus or minus 145.
We're hitting plus 120. What was it? 5 to the over.
Yep,
we're hitting that. But we have 52.5% to the over. So even if you adjust it down a few percentage points, we're still getting solid plus money on the over. So Trent Sherfield over half a receiving yard at plus 125.
Love it.
Anything else, Grant? I mean, it's tough out there. Is there anything on Hardman as far as a line out there?
Hardman currently sitting at 8.5, minus 108 juice on the over.
8.5. He has how many receiving yards right now? 0.
Look, I think it was 0, but it could be wrong.
Yeah. So we're showing 52% to the under, so nothing there really. Right in line with the market as well. So I don't have a whole lot more. Dalton Kincaid, he has 24 receiving yards right now. Let's at least check with him.
39.5 or 40.5, depending on where you're at.
39.5. Let's just check that. 39.5, 50-50, 40.5, 50-50. I mean, it's basically a reception game there with him.
Yeah.
So nothing on that one. Do we see value in Pacheco rushing yards? Let's take a look at that.
Sitting at 55.5, 54.5, 57.5, 56.5, 54 to 56.5, depending on where you're at. He's currently at 29 at the moment. Obviously,
we are showing 56% to the over at 55.5, and they have the ball.
Yeah, let's roll with that over then. The fact that they have the ball, they can very easily march down the field here.
We're going to take Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah, we're going to take Isaiah Pacheco over 55.5 rushing yards, minus 114 at FanDuel. Thank you for putting that there in the chat because we like that one a lot.
Yeah, it seemed better at Bet Rivers at 54.5, but we'll go with the FanDuel line.
Exactly. So there we go. I think honestly, Grant, I think that's just going to do it. We've exhausted almost everything here on Bet What Happens Live. We're pretty in line with the market overall, some like 58% plays. And on the anytime touchdown market, we exhausted the 2 values that we saw. The only other one, I guess, would be Sherfield for an anytime touchdown. I did want to revisit his before we go off
21 to 1, so I'm guessing there's no.
We have a 17.5 on his anytime touchdown.
We can throw 0.1 units on that.
Yeah, we'll do 0.1 on Trent Sherfield anytime touchdown, 21 to 1. And I think that's going to do it for Bet What Happens Live. Yeah, that's at FanDuel. So 0.1 units, Trent Sherfield, anytime touchdown. I already took it pregame at 10 to 1. So I definitely like 21 to 1 here. It's about double. We're still showing value on that. So if you didn't get it pregame, now's your opportunity. But that is going to do it for Bet What Happens Live. I'm looking at the chat here. We already talked about Kincaid, yards, etc. So we're going to wrap it up there on Bet What Happens Live. We made a bunch of bets. It'd be crazy if we get Latavius Murray 45 to 1 at a quarter unit there at FanDuel. So unless you got anything else, Grant, we'll wrap it up there.
No, that's it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this Bet What Happens Live. We will be back next week for both conference championship games at the 2-minute warning of each game. For Grant Neefer of Scores and Odds, I'm Nick Giffen. Good luck with your bets, everybody, and enjoy the rest of the game.